Hey, my super beautiful, lovely, gorgeous souls. Welcome to Rainbow Moon. Today I'm bringing you guys a reading for what I call, let's get to the root. So getting to the root is going to discover what is the deepest wound that you are experiencing since going into separation with your twin flame. I've chosen 2 cards. You can choose 1 or 2. I'll leave timestamps. You can certainly listen to both messages if you feel drawn. And we're going to get right into this. So without further ado, if you chose card number 1, let's get to the root, baby. What is the deepest? Because twin flame separation is all about discovering the roots and the causes of our shadows and our darker parts and the things that are in desperate need of healing. So if you chose card 1, we've got I Won't Cry for You. So with this card, sort of like a dark mirror trying to show you, this could be reflective of your twin's feelings towards you or your feelings towards them or both. The stage with this is sort of more of an acceptance stage, okay? Sometimes when it's over, closure must be created, not found, okay? So there's an issue with closure here and sort of ruminating and staying stuck in the past of all the things that you want back. You know, if you look at the card, there's a beautiful woman here. You know, she's shedding sort of these tears of blood, sort of like this awfulness, this terrible pain that's inside of her. And, you know, you can look as she's holding in her hands a dropped shape sort of vial, like a teardrop here. And she's sort of like showing this to the world, like, this is my pain, this is what I'm carrying. You know, so, you know, she may feel like representative, we'll call this female energy, may feel that this is her last gift, you know, sort of to give, is this last tear, shedding like that last tear. So this to me is getting into more of an acceptance and knowing that it's a time to let them free. You know, and if you're not ready to do that, then there's darker consequences, okay? You might want to let them free, but you're not letting yourself be free, okay? So really it has to do with being in a dark place and trying to get out of that. It's painful, it's definite, it's hard. You know, breaking up is not just letting go of a person, you're letting go of a part of yourself in twin flame. You know, part of your hopes, your dreams, all of those things, your feelings, your memories. You have to let go of the emptiness though too, and that connection that you were relying on. Anger will be at the beginning, but the last part of this road can't be done just by anger. Closure comes when you sort of dry up your tears and you have that glorious, gorgeous moment when you allow yourself to not give a damn anymore and start to give a damn about yourself. Okay, and just know, you know, tomorrow is another day. So this is the root. This is the main problem, okay? So what do you need to hear right now that's going to help you finalize this acceptance? I feel like you need to hear that they're okay and that they're going to come back someday, okay? And if that's all you're solely relying upon, these tears are never going to really fully go away. I feel like you were used. That's what I'm getting. I feel like you were used. You were like part of this like wham bam thank you ma'am kind of energy here. I also feel like you felt manipulated a bit and that their energy overpowers yours, which is simply not the case. It's an illusion, okay? It sort of only looks that way. It only looks that way, that they are overpowering your energy, okay? So let's see something that you need to hear, okay? Something else that you need to hear. Ooh. So we've got confidence. So, you know, I feel like in all of this, you sort of lost your confidence for yourself and your confidence for your ability to heal or your ability to come out of this energy. You don't have to be a martyr and you don't have to sacrifice anymore. I'm hearing from Spirit, you've done enough. You've cried till there's blood coming out of your eyes. It's just too much now. The pain is too deep. So once that pain has hit an all-time low and there's really nowhere else to go, this is why you're sort of entering that stage of acceptance. Okay. Yeah. Look, we've got letting go. And in letting go, you're entering in transformative energy. Master manifester here. Okay. You're absolutely able to transmute this sadness into happiness. You have to let go, though. You have to be okay with letting go. You have to not be afraid to let go. And you have to be really vigilant on yourself about accepting your new wings, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Accept your new wings, and new freedom will come from this. Okay? That's what I'm getting. So Spirit is giving you direct what you need to hear right now. Okay? Yeah. Let's see what some of the things you've been doing, like you've been sleeping on the truth. Let's see why have you been sleeping on the truth. Okay, because you've been disillusioned. Okay, you have been told things that did not come true by your person. You have been manipulated. You have been sort of, I feel like disillusioned is really the only way I can say it. And that illusion has become shattered by their behavior. They didn't follow through. They told you things that they may have not all the way meant or were not able to follow through on. So now there's lots of confusion. There's lots of like derailment is what I'm hearing from Spirit. And a lot of mental anguish and a lot of mental upset. And sort of not being able to balance emotions or be regulated by like too much depression, not enough happiness, too much sadness, not enough happiness, too much of like one thing is what I'm getting from Spirit. There's been too much heavy worry here. And I also feel like, I don't know if you thought this person maybe cheated on you, or they were in an energy where they were flirting or trying to see somebody else, or they were hiding things from you. And they certainly were hiding their feelings. Their true feelings did not come out. Not the way they wanted them to. So this is what you're sleeping on the truth. The truth is that this person was shady. This person was not validating you or giving you what you needed or delivering what they said they were going to. And they left you feeling crazy and alone and, sort of like wondering and very suspicious. That's what I'm getting. So this is that bloody last tear. I feel like the clarity is now coming to you. And it may take time for you to sit on some of this and really soak it up and understand it, but you're in an energy where you're ready for this. Even if it doesn't feel like you are, you're tired of crying. You're tired of spending all your energy on this. Okay, so what do you need to understand? You have to make yourself happy, and you have to make your environment around you happy. You have to structure yourself way differently. You have to get into an energy where you're all about yourself and creating the perfect environment for yourself to thrive, whether that's moving in with somebody new, a friend, whether it's, moving back home or moving out of your home, or finding that perfect apartment or place to be, or just being okay being alone. I also feel like, you need to understand that you need to put supportive people around you, happy, loving, supportive people that are not going to judge you and that are going to uplift you. I feel like you are learning in this that you now need to know how to make yourself happy, or how's that going to be. So you're going to be chasing your dreams. You're going to be elevating yourself, saving your money. You're going to be giving yourself some kind of new structure. All right. And this has to do with home and feelings of home and security of home. Okay. So it could be that you may need to go out on your own, or you may need to be around people that can love and support you at this time. Either way, one of those moves is going to bring you closer to healing and happiness. Okay. That's another way that things can change for you. And I feel like this is requiring fast action. Okay. Because I feel like if you don't act upon this, there's going to be a missed opportunity or stagnation. I also feel like you want to talk to them so badly that you would raise hell or high water to get to them. And what I'm hearing from Spirit is you can put that out there, but you're not going to get the response that you want, or you may have tried in the past and not gotten that response that you want. And stop letting this prison you up. I feel like you think you can't rest, or break these chains unless you hear that closure that you want to hear. You have to create your own closure, is what we heard from the first message here in this card. So creating your own closure is letting go, being okay with knowing that they might not be coming back on your particular timeline. There may be things that you need to do, that Spirit has intervened here, divine intervention has happened here to push you on your way to strengthening yourself and getting stronger and believing in yourself and chasing your dreams and not being a victim. You are not a victim. You have to get out of that thinking. And the way things can change for you, we're going to start to get into that, because what is it that you're holding on to that's so painful? Yeah, you're feeling inadequate and you want validation. They're not going to give it to you. Unfortunately, they can't even give it to themselves. So I feel like these things that you're holding on to, and dwelling, living in the past, that's how things can change. Once you accept this and you get into that mode, you're going to validate yourself. You're going to let yourself feel adequate enough, and you're going to stop living in the past. Okay? You just have to get into that mind frame of understanding that twin flame separation is for a reason. It is for them to go on their separate path and learn their lessons, and for you to do the same and rip out those wounds and examine them and heal them. Let's see what else here. Come on now. We got some jumpers. Yeah. You're not too happy with the fact that there's no communication. It has to be this way. What's a soul lesson that you're learning here? Let's see a soul lesson attached to this that might help you with some clarity and understanding. Oh, we've got negative thinking. So attached to this is for you to learn to think more positively about yourself and about the situation between you and your twin flame. That, you know, once you start to think positively for yourself, all good things are going to come to you. You're going to attract more and more and more abundance of love and happiness to yourself. So what are some positives to focus on? And you've got a barrier. A barrier keeps you from your goal. So you're afraid to move on. You're just afraid to go through this door. You're locking yourself sort of in this imprisonment. You got to be able to go through this door. You have to be able to take those steps and not be afraid, because the worst is sort of like the worst is over, is what I'm getting from Spirit. And it's worse for you to stay stagnant than to fear what's beyond this gate. You have to understand that only good things are beyond that gate. That's what it is. That's what you're having such a hard time dealing with. You know, it's more so that it's beyond the gate, okay? In the soul lesson that, you know, you're working on here, in between this time, we've got some resistance. I don't like being told what to do or feel. So within this reading, you may not like it, but you know damn well it's true. These things are not made up. I'm shuffling these cards. They're coming out from Spirit. If you're here, it's for help and healing. So the quicker you accept these things and embrace your flaws, there's nothing wrong with that. You do it in private. You don't have to be ashamed or embarrassed or humiliated in front of anybody. As soon as you do that, your closure begins. As soon as you do that, your new life and new path begins. If they're going to come back to you, they're going to come back to you. What's meant to be yours will be yours, but you cannot sit and rot waiting for it. And we've also got fear of judgment. I'm afraid of judgment, so I don't like to speak my mind. So these are your roots. I'm encouraging you with love to rip them out and start to work on healing them. Try to figure out where they have come from. Start journaling. Write your feelings down. And literally focus on the positives, because once you start to move, I promise you positives are going to come your way, and you have to affirm to the universe that you want and deserve love and happiness. I hope that this was helpful. So if you chose card 2, we're getting now into card 2 messages. So this is called Calling the Storm. And with this particular card and energy, the stage of that root is bargain, okay? So you have to know that power comes not from the inside, but from the connection and integration into a greater whole. So it's really like starting out as like a seed and growing from pain, okay? So it's like pull and release, pushing to the limit, and the I is the only peaceful place that can be. So, you have to get like, the eye of the storm. That's where you get like that moment of clarity, that moment of peace. So you might be right in the eye of the storm right now. Looking back on the past is very painful. Looking forward is scary too, okay? It's sort of like going into the dark. And there is a time to find and release our power. Just like a spring that's been compressed to the point that it's lost its memory of motion, or like an elastic band that's stretched out too far and it's lost its like range of motion or its memory of motion, there's still power inside of that. Finding it is called empowerment. And it starts from a belief in our own power and our ability to cope and fight and endure and overcome challenges. You're being challenged at this time. However, sometimes we're way too encouraged to see empowerment as something that only happens within our psychological space. And that's not necessarily true. We're not like islands of ourselves. So sometimes we do need help. We do need to reach out, and we don't control the storm. We can call it. We can invite it into our life. We don't need to fear it because it's part of what will make us strong. So after the storm, you have to remember there's always sun. The sky maybe has been gray for too long for you, and it's not time to fear the storm. You have to embrace it because it's the only way to heal it, okay? So your root is like this internal storm and needing to sort of restart healthier, okay? Get yourself out of the chilly rain and out of the, the pain of this storm, okay? So let's see something that you need to hear right now. What is something that you absolutely need to hear right now from Spirit about this situation? All right. So you could be too much hiding your feelings. You could be too much internalizing your pain and not allowing your feelings space to be felt. Does that make sense? You have to allow your feelings like like a space. You can't internalize everything, okay? I also feel like you're hung up on all this shit you don't know. You want to know more. You want to know what is your twin flame doing. You want to know why. You want to know a lot of things that are like this internal storm within you. Spirit's like, you have to start to examine, take each one out, write it down, and try to figure out the root. Try to figure out what is bothering you the most about the separation. What is the most trigger from your twin? But I feel like some things you're not going to know, okay? Some things you're not meant to know about them or what they're doing or what their journey entails. And I also feel like there's too much inaction here. I feel like you're kind of just sitting, sort of withering away. You have to get up and start to take action for yourself. And I feel like the truth will be revealed to you when it's time, when you're ready for it. When you're in such a storm of yourself right now, you're not ready for the truth. So let's see what else we have got. Why have you been sleeping on the truth? Because you're afraid. You're afraid to accept this. There's things about yourself. There's things also about yourself that you're afraid to accept. And things about them that you found out were a little bit darker, and things about them that maybe shocked you or surprised you. You thought they were another person. They were also promising you everything under the sun, but they didn't deliver it. This happened in the previous reading. So a lot of like lies and manipulation and being told things that were not true. And also sort of like this control and this sort of bondage and this, sort of like need for release, okay? Only you can break your chains. And I feel like fear is definitely holding you back, and anxiety and the inability to cope with what's going on. So that's why you've been sleeping on the truth. You don't want to accept it. You're afraid of it. It's upsetting. And you can't believe that this person lied to you and did this to you. So what do you need to understand? What is something that, you might need to understand here within all of this, goings on? Let's see. Let's get a quick shuffle. All right. You got to stand on your own, I feel like. I feel like you're being taught a lesson to stand on your own and be who you really are. Coming out of this, I feel like you're being suppressed of the person who you really are. Like your twin has activated you to be who you really are now. Like creative, like the vessel that you need to be to achieve your goals. Does that make sense? I just feel like you are this like strong, incredible force, but have been held back by fear and anxiety and trapped in this storm. I feel like once you come out of this, you're going to be like this unstoppable force. Definitely. And I feel like fearless, courageous. You're supposed to get into this energy. Fearless and courageous. That's where you're trying to be pushed by spirit right now. And how will things change for you? This is judgment. This is a wake-up call. Definitely a wake-up call for you to have more understanding. You know, what is the hardest thing for you here? What is the hardest, like, lost love feeling here for you? All right, we've got lack of boundaries. So it could be that, you know, your twin felt smothered by your intense, loving energy, okay? Or it could be you felt smothered by them. Either way, it could be that, you know, you wanted to sort of have more of an exchange of how you really felt about each other, and that wasn't given to you. We've also got wrecking ball. You have to let go of the past. And darkness, face your demons. So this is the time to go forward. The eye of the storm is giving you a little bit of peace right now, a little bit of time to think, a little bit of time to gather your strength to do this like final battle. Does that make sense? Like, you have to do this final battle. Look, she's ready for it. She's preparing herself. She's in the eye of the storm, but yet she knows there's more to come. So that is to do this, face those demons. Start to not have fear of yourself and what is happening. And let's see some soul lessons attached to this. Okay. So we've got, learning about vulnerability. So it could be that you don't like to feel vulnerable to another person. It could be that vulnerability has held you back from making really good choices for yourself, or choices in relationships. So this could be being exposed right now, and now you don't want to feel this way. It's very uncomfortable, but you're being called to fight that. Okay, so let's see a soul shadow or wound that needs to come out as well. All right, and we've also got emotional maturity, got some growing up to do. So it could be that you might be stuck in sort of emotional past wounds, like, you know, if you were hurt by your very first love, or someone from the past that, you know, hurt you and you didn't grow from it. Okay, so I'm feeling like a little bit of emotional growth is going to come out of this for you. Let's see what else we're getting here, okay? Because there has to be also like how things will change for you. So let's see. After you accept all these things, how things will change for you, okay? Let's see. Okay, we've got your secrets are safe. So it's okay. I feel like you may confide in someone. You may confide in someone. You may find peace in, like, I don't know, a therapy kind of a thing, or mentoring. I'll leave a link in the description box for my twin flame mentoring and support group. But sharing your secrets right now, sharing your story might help you get some closure and some peace. But I feel like it's okay to let some of this out, okay? Definitely. It's like you're being shown perseverance. Your perseverance is going to be rewarded, all right? So that's how things can change for you. Let's see what else. Ooh, fate has blocked this path for you. So fate is blocking the connection right now with your twin flame because so much needs to be healed. And please believe that a lot of this is reflective of their energy as well. So if some of these messages don't resonate with you, then they could resonate for your twin in that energy you carry of telepathy with one another. If you start doing your work and making your progress, they're going to start doing their work and making their progress. So that's some things that, you know, maybe need attention. So let's see some positives for you to focus on. What are some positives that you can focus on? Oh, okay. So we've got playful. So maybe finding more fun in life, maybe finding hobbies or getting out or being silly with friends, or sort of letting up a little bit of this very heavy, sort of self-punishing, very sad, very warrior-like energy, okay? You do have some fight to go for yourself, but I feel like don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to, you know, let play into your life. Let like some lightness come into your life, okay? And then we've got focus. So for you to just focus on yourself and work on hitting those goals that you're going to make for yourself, the healing goals, okay, that you need. I hope that this was helpful. Please let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check the link in my description box for my twin flame separation support group and my private reading information if you would like a private reading. Love and light.